Packard Model I 3040 horsepower 7-passenger touring 1910. By the time of the Model 30's introduction in 1906, Packard was already recognized as being one of the leading American automakers. The new model answered the challenge of that reputation, with a T-head engine, produced using French engine castings and developing 40 lm-hp. Balanced, powerful, and superbly engineered, the 30 enjoyed remarkable success and was produced through 1912. Today it is widely considered one of the best automobiles of its era for all-round drivability and performance. This car's original owner, William Hunter, was a mainline Philadelphia socialite and regular Packard customer, who acquired a 1905 model in N230s, this car and a 1909 model, all brand new, and owned them until his death in 1933. 4 years later his widow sold the trio of cars to Hyde Ballard, a co-founder of the Antique Automobile Club of America. It was one of the earliest cars in that organization. Although the Hunter's had rear half of the body, it was still maintained and in use on trips between the Hunter Farm and the Devon Horse Show. Ballard sold this car in 1950 to early collector Tom Lester, who passed it in 1955 to Richard Teague, then chief of design at Packard. In 1959 it changed hands again, to L. Morgan Yost, the Packard historian and one of the principal authors of Packard, the Motor Car and Its History. Bobby Roskin bought the car from Mr. Yost in 1980 and successfully restored it back to original configuration. As recently confirmed with Mr. Roskin, he was fortunate enough to acquire an original Model 30 touring body section, a photo of which is on file, from Ronald Hall in New York, which had evidently come off a car that met a similar fate. In 1987 Mr. Roskin was on a brass and gas tour and learned that Don Balton was interested in acquiring his Packard, thus it left for Oklahoma, where it has remained for over 30 happy years. Finished in the correct color scheme of Packard blue with green accents, black fenders, and tufted black leather upholstery, the car has a wonderfully correct and authentic appearance, including sill plates embossed with the Packard name, as original, and correct Packard badged solar brass lamps. An electric starter appears to be the only subtle modification. It is offered with a pair of original 1910 Packard instruction manuals, as well as a copy of the operation and care manual, and photographs showing it throughout its life, including as it left the Hunters. This 1910 Packard was Don C. Balton's favorite automobile. He loved it fiercely, and drove it more than any other automobile in his collection, in many parades and tours. Inarguably no automobile in the collection was more readily identified with Mr. Balton, and inarguably he did not mind the association.